Hello guys, welcome back to Momprenuer Diaries, and we started a series on all things and everything house helps, and today we're going to do our part 2 of this series to look for qualities to consider when hiring a nanny, like the good qualities you'd want to have when you're hiring a nanny. It can be very cumbersome to hire, and sometimes you get overwhelmed by the qualities you're looking for, but I want to give you some standard qualities to look for when you're hiring a nanny. Quality number 1 is attitude. Why am I talking about attitude? I call it a premium attitude. I call it a premium quality when looking for a good nanny, because it's when a nanny has a good attitude, she's trainable, she's teachable, she's correctable, and she's tameable at the same time. You can imagine having someone who has a very bad attitude towards correction, and anytime you correct them, they feel like they take it very personal and they get emotional about everything, so it's very difficult. So when you're hiring a nanny, it's very important to consider the attitude they have. For example, how do you get to know their attitude before you work with them? When you're interviewing, you can ask a question like, why are they looking for this job? Someone with a bad attitude may answer, may go like, I have children and I want to pay school fees, and that's the reason I'm looking for this job. It means they're not passionate about this kind of job. They're just looking for it because of monetary needs and all that. So in as much as they will be coming to your house and they'll have a responsibility towards your children and your household, they'll not be doing the job they love. They'll be doing it for monetary gains only. So it's very easy to fall out of place in case of any small thing. So when you'll be correcting them, they'll be feeling like, sasa kwa sababu I'm a house help, you want to tell me this and that because I'm not in your home. But somebody with the right attitude, when you ask them the same question, they'll be like, I like working with children and I'd love to gain experience with working with children, and your home is a good setup for that. So you see, these are two people answering the same question in different ways. So point number 2, trustworthiness. This is someone you're going to entrust with your children and your household. And by the way, these house helps get to see very sensitive information in our houses. Sometimes they're just cleaning, then they get by maybe your salary statements or your M-Pesa statements, or so they get very sensitive information in our households as they go about their duties. So you need someone who is very trustworthy, that you'll entrust with your children and entrust with your household. Quality number 3 is flexibility. How flexible is this person? Like, let's say sometimes you have to work over the weekend. So when you're interviewing, you'll ask, are you comfortable working during your off days sometimes when I'm also at work? Then this also goes back to the attitude. Someone with a good attitude will be like, it's okay, because this is a job like any other and you're also working just like I'm working. It's okay, I can hold on these particular days. Then maybe you can agree on some payment or how to compensate for that time. But if you get someone who is very strict on her off days, which is still okay, we are different. There are people who really value that off. Maybe they have children, they have families, they have whatever. So you must consider the flexibility, the amount of flexibility you need as well, because you must be considerate to them. They're also people, they have families. So just take what is good for you, and make sure when you're interviewing, you include a question that will bring about flexibility, that will handle that part. And quality number 4 is reliability. We rely on house helps for so many things at the same time. We rely on them on our households, like they're our household support system, and also to take care of our children, and sometimes to run errands. Some of these errands that you have to run around, you can sometimes entrust them with those responsibilities. So you need someone who is very reliable, someone who, when is supposed to report at work at 8 a.m., let's say she's a day bug, by 8 a.m. she's at work, not someone who you start calling at 7:30 just to confirm if she's coming or she's not coming. So you need someone who's very reliable. So as you rate your interview questions, make sure you have a question that will tackle the reliability part of it. And somebody who is enthusiastic, point number 5. For instance, is she willing to work with children? Is she willing to work with a household like yours? How soon is she available to start work? And is she considering her job a job like any other, ama she's doing it for the sake of maybe she did not finish school, so this is the only job she has. So look for someone who is enthusiastic. As you interview, you'll get to know some things about this person depending on how they'll also answer the questions. Point number 6 is somebody who is punctual or time conscious. Like I've just mentioned before, you need someone who will be at work by 8 a.m. if that is what your routine states. Someone who can be able to handle your routines strictly and adhere to them. Because you see, when you've trained your children to eat at a particular time, you want someone who can maintain that kind of routine, not someone who will drag it back. Because you'll have to do the same thing over and over and over again, and it will affect the children's routine. So you need to get someone who is very punctual and very time conscious in terms of her times of reporting to work, of maintaining routines and all that. So capture a question that will also deal with that part. And you need someone who is very independent. Point number 7. What do you mean by independence? Someone who, let's say there's an emergency at home, you're not available on phone, maybe you're in a meeting. Someone who can handle that emergency with or without your help in a positive way. Not someone who will be like, you didn't tell us what to eat for lunch, so I did not cook lunch. You need someone who can reason, someone who can use common sense. So also get to capture a question that will tackle that. So these are the 7 qualities that you're going to look at, that you should consider when hiring a nanny. Let me just go through them once again. Quality number 1 is attitude. Number 2 is trustworthiness. Number 3 is flexibility. Number 4, reliability. Number 5, enthusiasm. Number 6, punctuality. Number 7, independence. So I hope this helps you to look for your next nanny, and I hope it's going to get better and better as you follow this series of all things and everything house helps. Thanks, and please leave your comment, subscribe, share with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe, so that we can also learn together and get to learn these tips together. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.